How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. I want to apologize for being late. I really want to apologize for being late.
You know what I'm starting to find out about being in this car culture with a lot of men? That's just what I'm going to have to go through.
I lost track of time. I'm talking about, it had totally slipped my mind until I got back in the truck and saw my phone. I had people tag me. I was like, damn. Yeah.
Well,
how you doing today?
I'm doing well. So first I wanted to tell you, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down and answer the fans' questions. It's much appreciated. I know all you guys it's race season, so it's going to be kind of difficult for you guys to break away from what you're doing. Like you said, you was at the shop, so, you know, trying to get that pretty thing ready for, you know, to maybe possibly go cross some rear ends this weekend.
No, I was actually helping one of my homeboys replace some airlines on one of his 18-wheelers.
Oh, okay. So you work on 18-wheelers as well?
Yeah, I'm just a tool guy.
All right, so we'll get into that. So what I'll do is I'll start off with one of my questions and then get right into the fans' questions, okay?
Okay.
All right, so tell me how you got into cars.
When I was young, my mom was dating this guy, and he car crazy, and he was feeding me, so I'm car crazy. And they ended their relationship, and because of the love for the cars and the relationship and bond me and him build, we kept in touch, and that's who shop I just left. Yeah. So.
Okay. How your mama feel about it? Like,
she don't really have no problem with that. You know, she knows.
Well, not now, but back then.
Well, I was young, so I can imagine it probably was it was a hell of a situation for them.
Let me tell you why I say that, because I tell people all the time, my mama like everybody.
Yeah.
But when we break up, you broke up with my mama. I have to tell my mama, listen, ain't no more talking to them. So we'll go ahead and get right into the fans' questions.
So
first question is, huh?
You have everybody at the family reunion on.
That's a touchy subject. We're not gonna go there because you're gonna get my mama in trouble again. We're not gonna go there. Hey. So the first question is, what made you choose a Regal over a Monte Carlo or a Cutlass?
The Regal is really my personal preference. In the past, I had a Grand National, and when I was in high school, I had a Regal. But I just like the Regal. You know, I was working one day, and I was in a little country area, and I saw this car under the carport at a lady house, and I pulled over in the middle of the road, turned the flashes on, and left a couple of business cards on the front door. And maybe like a month later, they contact me, and the car only had 36,000 miles on it. So.
What?
Yeah. They contact me on a Sunday evening, probably about 3-4 weeks later. And Monday morning, I went and got it after I talked to the guy.
You found a real... I'm going to kill this dog. You found a real gem. 13,000?
36.
36,000?
Yeah.
And what would you I see that all the time, right? Because I drive a lot. So I like to drive through little country roads. Yeah. But I be just so... And I have my little peacemaker with me.
Yeah.
But I be just so scared to go in on people's yard because you don't never know who house you walking up to.
That's true. But I was in my work truck, so I had some cars on the trailer. It was a little narrow road. I literally stopped in the road and just turned my flashes on. So, I looked legit when I came to when I pulled up to the house, So, didn't nobody come to the door, but I looked legit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, it was everything I thought it was. It was nice.
Really? Oh, man. What happened to the Grand National?
I ended up turning it to an all-out drag car, and I eventually sold it. I sold
a Grand National?
Yeah. Yep.
You know, that what you just said could have made me and you fall out because I've been looking for a Grand National.
I battle with myself sometimes about it.
You messed up.
Yeah, I know I messed up.
All right. Well, we're going to leave it right there. Next question is, I wonder if you know the person that asked this. Who do you think has the fastest Regal on rims besides Grand Nasty?
The fastest Regal on rims. I don't know who all got Regals.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. Not right off.
You were supposed to say you.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to be fair, though. Trying to be fair.
You know you were supposed to say you.
I'm working on that. I'm working on getting everything situated and dialed in with it for sure.
I think you're being modest, but I'm going to leave that where it's at.
Being honest.
Next question. What made you cross over from grudge racing to big wheel racing?
Just a lot of controversy, and we've been doing it for so long, and I just wanted to try something different.
So how long you been racing?
A long time. Like, I'm 36, so I imagine we've been involved with racing since I probably was like 8, 9 years old. Yeah.
When you say we, you have a whole team?
Yeah, we have a team.
So how many cars you have on your team?
At the moment we have like 5.
All G bodies?
No, we have 2 G bodies, 2 S10s, and a Firebird.
What's the name of your team?
Giant Racing.
And y'all based out of where?
Mississippi.
We can tell by the accent that it was somewhere like that. What's your favorite part about racing?
I like to talk shit and gamble.
What's the part you hate the most?
Nobody like losing, but it's more talking than racing these days. So that's kind of like the part that really just make you want to just give it up because a lot of bullshit go on. So, I mean, a lot of drama take place. You know what I'm saying? So it just wear you out sometimes.
What's the most dangerous situation you've ever been in while either at a race or in your car?
It's been a few years ago, but I had a Corvette. I used to race it. It was actually on hard tires at the time. And during the race, I lost control of it. And it spent around, and it barely, like, literally barely touched the wall. So at that moment, I didn't know what was going to happen. But it was a motorcycle had a bust oil pan before I raced. And they had cleaned it up, but I guess it was, still a little something down. Right. That's about it, though.
So tell the truth. When you got out the car, was the seat of the car wet?
KP, I give y'all me. I give y'all me for real. You know what I'm saying? Like when y'all see me on live or at the track, I'm really in character. I'm being me at all times. When I got out the car, when the car stopped and I got out of it and I looked at the bumper and I'm talking about it had just a little scratch on it. And once I realized it had a little scratch on it, I turned around to the crowd, threw both of my hands up, and they went wild like I won the damn race or something. It was crazy. Yeah.
So you were still in full character?
Still in full character. Jesus took the wheel. I was good.
And the seat wasn't wet?
Nah, the seat wasn't wet.
I don't think you would tell us if it was.
I would. I really would. But it wasn't wet, though. Like I said, it happened quick, and it could have been bad, which, it wasn't at all. The guy I was racing, he ended up passing by me once I lost control. So, it could have been a lot worse than what it was. But I tell you, on my way home, I drove the speed limit on the cruise control. Yeah.
Do you have plans to build another car for you to drive, for you to race?
Nah. If if I do anything, I probably would just move forward and deeper with this car. But I really don't have no intentions on doing that. I plan on pretty much staying stock style on wheels.
You know, somebody told me the other day, I was talking to one of the guys that raced, and he was saying he kind of started off like, he in a G-Body, he kind of started off like, I'm just going to have a little Pee-wee motor. And then he started racing the car. Then a little bit more than a Pee-wee motor. Then
that's where I'm at right now.
Then a little bit more.
Yeah. He
was, like you say, staying stock. And now he's definitely not stock.
Well, you know, to be honest with you, when you have a V6 in the car, you say, all right, I'm gonna redo the car, fuel injection, LS3, and you know I'm just gonna cruise. I'm gonna have me 600 horsepower and have fun.
Right.
And then you lose a race, and you know things just kind of get out of hand. You know. So you know that's kind of like where we at. We making progress. You know.
So you lost a race and now it's out of hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
How far out of hand?
I can still drive it. I can still drive the car, and it still has everything in it, stock gas tank and all. But I just really choose not to drive it because of what I really do with it, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to put the wear and tear on the drivetrain.
Right.
So
you're not gonna be one of them guys that's gonna be. You got one seat. You got no back seats. No. You got you cutting the doors, so it's like
I don't have no tint in the windows. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can see what's going on in there.
No music. No, you gonna have.
I got the factory radio still in.
It still work?
Yeah.
What has got a tape player or like a back then? Would they have had a tape player, right?
Yeah, it got an old push-in cassette player in it.
It would be interesting to see if that cassette player still works.
Yeah.
I'll find some cassettes and send them to you. So you can push the cassette in there and see if it works.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Because I never pushed one in it. But, you know, as far as the local radio stations, I can tune in to them, you know.
What's your next race? Where's the next place that people can catch you and see your race?
I was locked in to go to Paris event this weekend, but that race was called off. So I might go to Memphis. They got a big race in Memphis this weekend, a grudge event. So we might go up there if the weather allows.
So do you still have your actual full out race car as well?
No, I sold a Grand National.
So you don't have another one? You wouldn't build another one?
Nah. Hell, this regular one. You know.
What now?
I'm saying like the parts you spend on the street cars, you know, it's the same money you spend on the race car.
I think you're telling on yourself.
Well, no, I'm just telling you, know, that's just how it is.
Are you one of those people that be like, you don't show your motor?
Nah, I don't show my motor. So,
what if I walk up and be like, can I see your motor real quick?
Well, you know, as long as you ain't got the camera rolling, KP, I'll show you. You know, I don't think you that harmful.
That's being real. Okay, you're right.
You can take that two ways now. You can take that can go both ways. But I don't think you'll be no harm. I'll show it to you. I showed it to I think I showed it to Coco when we was at Paris event down in No Problem. On March the 6th, you know, I met Coco. So, you know, yeah, I'll show it to you.
What's your favorite part about big rim racing?
I like a challenge, and that's what the hard tie give you. You know, that hard tie, she's stubborn, you know, so. And, you know, coming from, you know, grudge racing, I'm kind of greedy, you know. So, you have to, you know, you have to give in for that hard tie. You can't be aggressive with it. Yeah.
He said he gonna show it. You still gotta beat it. Tony Snow. I think Tony be kind of picking on people a little bit.
Yeah. I catch him at the track one day. It ain't no pressure. It ain't no pressure. He cool though. I talked to him last week. He cool cat.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He be being a little bit of a bully sometimes, like Bruce.
Well, if he got that truck figured out, that's what he's supposed to do, to be honest.
Really?
If he got it figured out, he's supposed to, pop his shit.
So you would race him even though he's in a short bed?
Yeah, I run.
You would race anybody?
Yeah. I don't want to just, advance to the big league, but, all the, like the guys like Tony that's kind of new to the game myself, yeah. I don't have no problem running nobody. You just deal with a lot of different track conditions, So with that hard tie, you probably have to make adjustments to every track. But
so do you build your own car and tune and everything, or do you have like a tuner and things like that?
I have a tuner, but what I like to do, I like to be hands on. I don't really like to depend on nobody. So I kind of like get a baseline, and like the electronics I got is kind of like something that's new to the market. So when I got my car wired up and picked it up, he kind of gave me a rundown on it, and I've been basically handling it myself lately. Yeah.
So you're not the mechanic either?
Yeah, we work on it, yeah. At the shop, we do a lot at the shop. We build cars at the shop. Yeah.
I think that's where... I'm sorry, go ahead.
All the cars we have, we done built them at the shop. But this big car is what I did something different with.
So that's why I think a lot of, well, not a lot, some of the guys have a more of an advantage, right? Because they can build on their own cars. That's why I think people like Boost Doctor have an advantage. Right. He builds his car. He tunes his car. Like he is one, I'm doing the air quote, one with the car. So the people who can like build on their own cars, I think y'all have a little bit of advantage.
Yeah. It's a lot of guys that really like racing that don't really know a lot about cars at all. So they really have people to, pretty much do everything for them. And, that can become pretty expensive. Not being able to, not having to know how to do anything, it can become pretty expensive. But, fortunately, that's not the way we operate.
Right. I think that's the problem for a lot. Well, I'll speak for myself. I think that's the problem or the challenge for myself. Building a car, have to depend on everybody else for something. That's right. Like, so that's where you start getting in that's why when people are like, they spent so much money building their car. That's because they have to depend on so many other people to do stuff for them. Whereas if it's somebody like you can do all that, and all you got to do is just send it to somebody to tune it. So that saves you thousands of dollars.
That's right. That saves a lot of money. Depending on what you're building and how far you're trying to go with it, it can really, it can really get out of budget quick.
So you build other people's cars. What's the name of your shop?
In and Out Customs.
In and Out Customs in Mississippi.
Yeah, no, that's my partner shop. Now I don't. That's what he do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
We go out there and work on our cars, and sometimes we go out there and help him.
So we got an In and Out Customs in Mississippi too.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can either send it to the In and Out Customs in Mississippi or the one in South Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you guys specialize in?
Just we do LS swaps, chassis work, roll cages, wiring up the cars. We go to the track and help you get them dialed in. Just the basic stuff. Just the basic stuff that it take the race. I got a couple partners that paint cars. I got a couple partners that build engines and stuff like that. So, we all kind of got a little loop that we all deal with.
So it sounds like if somebody wanted to get everything done, they could just send it to you guys. Y'all had the capability to be like an all-around shop.
I got a couple guys that I done spoke with that I met, dealing with the big rim races. They talking about sending some cars in,
Right.
But that really would just be, me knowing the guys and getting to know them. They trusting me, and my partner doing the work, the one that owned the shop.
Right.
Yeah. Kind of like like that.
Well, that's most people's problem. To be honest, it's a lot of people having problems with sending their cars to shops and the shop keeping their car 1, 2, 3 years. Like it's
hell no.
Somebody told me one day that a shop has now had their car for 4 years.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I couldn't even participate in nothing like that. My guy, he kind of like he would rather you have all your parts. It's like so he can get you in and have you in and out. Like really, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like you could bring him front and back suspension, and he probably can have all that done within 2 to 3 days if you have everything that you need. You know what I'm saying? Because he gonna do his job as far as producing the label. But sometimes you get tangled in the shop because of the parts. The parts not available, the shipping. Just so much back order and stuff like that. That's what kind of prolongs time. But if a guy drop a car that need an engine installed in it, and he pretty much have all his parts, front to back, and it's some miscellaneous stuff you're gonna need, but I'm gonna say probably a month's time.
Right.
With everything being shipped in, he can, install the front and rear suspension, install the engine, wire it up, and get it running. Because he don't really take on no 5 and 6 jobs at a time. He might take on 2 jobs at a time. You know what I'm saying? So, if this car here waiting on parts, he could be working on this car, so he making progress on 2 cars at once.
Yeah. Were you guys really affected badly during the pandemic waiting for parts?
Not really. No, not really. Only thing we did with that pandemic was like paid the overnight express shipping. And we still was, within 1 to 4 days on getting it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for everybody that that's buying parts, pay for the express shipping. You don't get it when you're supposed to. They're gonna refund your money, but you still get it quicker than 3 or 4 weeks. So that's
you gave them a hack.
That's what
you gave them a parts hack.
Pay for overnight shipping, pay for 2-day shipping. It take 3-4 days to get here. We get a refund on the express shipping. We still get the part within a week. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that work out. That work out for us.
I used to think when I first got started in this car culture, right? Like everyday people, like people who don't have a big name, were the ones that went through problems with shops. But I legit have been talking to people who I wouldn't call them a celebrity. Well, maybe I would call them Insta famous.
Right.
That are really well known. Like I talked to Belt Boy probably maybe last month, and he was telling me all the problems that he went through with his car.
Yeah.
And I was like you wouldn't think that a shop which would. It's a difference in them messing me over, or somebody like a Belt Boy or a Stunner Reese or one of those guys who have all those followers. Why do you think that is such a big issue when it comes to shops and screwing people over?
I'm gonna be honest with you. First of all, it kind of depends on the shop that you're dealing with and what type of people you're dealing with. And secondly, when you call or you pull up at a shop and you talking to somebody, they can tell from the conversation y'all having if you know what you're talking about or not. So if they see you don't know what you're talking about, then they might bullshit you. But if they know, you know what I'm saying, you know what's going on, then they know it's only so far they can take you. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of one of the ins and outs of the guys that don't know much about cars. They could tell them anything. You know what I'm saying? They could tell them anything because they know they don't know. they trusting them to produce that product. So they could, they could stall them out, they could rob them, they could treat them right and go and get them done. You know what I'm saying? It just depends, man. A lot of guys they like cars, but they just don't have the know-how about it. And it ain't nothing personal. That's just the way it is. Some shops capitalize off that.
So how do you think people can avoid that?
Gain some knowledge, man. You shouldn't just be out here spending your money. It's a lot of money being spent. So, do your research, gain some knowledge, and, just don't take their word. Deal with some people deal with some trustworthy people. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's basically all I can say, Don't just, if they tell you something, Google it. You know what I'm saying? Research it. If he tell you something costs $4,000, Google it and research it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it costs $4,000.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't spend $4,000 on something that costs $1,500.
Right.
Because some people do that. I'm not that type of guy, but some people will do that. You know what I'm saying? Some guys spend so much money in shops and get drug along so long that they lose interest. They done lost a lot of money. They done lost the appetite for whatever it is they was investing their money in. And it's just a good deal went bad.
You know how I avoid it with the shops? I let them know, I'm trusting you with my car, but I will come drive my car through your shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to have to just run to my car into all this stuff in here.
Yeah. You let them know you're a mental patient.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it is. They probably get you in and out.
and not to mention, the people who working on my cars, they like my people. But I still told them, don't make me have to drive my car through this shop.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hit everything in here. I'm going to hit all these pretty cars you got in here. And so we ain't both on Channel 4 News. Let's just do the right thing.
Yeah, that's right. Let's do right by each other.
So what would you like for your followers and fans and supporters to know about you?
I'm just here to have fun and race, man. Bring some good energy, some positive vibes to the people. A lot of guys tell me they like my car. They like my attitude. They inspired by my car. A couple of people hit me up in the DM, want to ask this and ask that. I just give it to them. You know what I'm saying? Because we all got to start somewhere, So that's it. Just positive vibes. Just like
positive vibes like me. I ain't gonna tell you no lie, right? First, the people who've been following me for a long time, they know I feel like I can only see so many cars, so many colors, right?
Right.
And I am very partial to rose gold rims.
Right.
But when I saw your car, the first time I saw your car in person was at Paris race. I was in mid-sentence. I don't forget who I was standing there talking to. I was in mid-sentence. And I stopped talking. And my eyes just followed your car down the thing. Yeah. I told him, I said, I got to find out who that is. They was like, oh, that's Starr Macc. I said, you know what? He did that. That's a killer. That is what I call a killer combo.
Hey, I really appreciate that. You sent me a shout out, I think, like that Monday. And
man, listen, that thing,
you liked it.
It's so well put. Like the colors, just I don't know how to explain it. It's just so well put together. What made you choose that combo?
I actually started out with a set of brush Montes on it, Monte boards on it, and I had this guy, this local guy in Mississippi. He was giving me a hard time, saying that I had kind of jocked his style, right? And I really did jock his style, because like my car was 36,000 miles, and it was maroon with maroon interior. So it was a lot of talk going back and forth about I copied this car and all that. So this guy out of Alabama had a sky blue two-door box Chevy, and he had those exact wheels on his car. And I seen him. He was at Stunt Fest. I think that was not Stunt Fest. What it is they have down in Orlando?
The Classic?
Yeah, the Classic. He was down at the Classic, and I seen him. Him and his girlfriend was in the car chilling. I was like, damn. I talked to a couple of my partners about it. I was like, man, what y'all think about these wheels on my car? They was like, man, don't do that. Man, don't do that. Man, don't do that. So I kept looking at it. I was like, fuck it, I'm going. And when I put them on there, I fell in love with it. I think I made the right decision.
I concur.
Right decision.
I concur. Because that rose gold, listen, I'm not a fan of gold rims on cars. That's just not my preference. But when you put rose gold on,
that's kind of like the direction they were pushing me in, because that's common. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That go together. The gold and the green and the red and the gold. And I didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? I stepped out on it. I took a chance with a lot of money, and it turned out nice. You know what I'm saying?
You did that, though. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's been a long time since I stopped in mid-sentence. And I'm a G-body girl anyway.
Yeah.
But I stopped in I can still remember my head just going. I said, who is that? I think I was standing there talking to, I can't even remember who I was talking to. But they was like, that's Starr Macc. I said, I got to go over there and see that car. I never did just make it over there to stop and talk to you. But I was like, I got to say something about that. Because rose gold is my thing. Like, I even love rose gold jewelry. But to see rims on a car and so well put together. And I've never even seen the inside. So next time I see you, I got to come over there. Because I didn't see no pictures of like the inside.
The inside nice. And I ain't just saying that. The inside is, I really like the inside. The inside nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's all original. Everything is all original except, I have a matching steering wheel in it. And I have a custom built stand for my shifter. It kind of like comes off the floor and wrap over the top of the seat. So, but other than that, it's all original. That's why I say it still got the original radio in it.
I can't wait to see the inside. But you did that. I have to give you your props for that. Like, I don't know how many people, because I feel like a lot of guys say that sometimes it's kind of hard for guys to give each other their props when it comes to cars. But
I don't think so. I guess it depends on if it's something personal between the two. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I show a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? And they show me a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? So right. I can't really just say that unless it's something personal. You know what I'm saying? Because if you doing your thing, it shouldn't bother you to see somebody else doing their thing. You know what I'm saying?
So why do you think it's so hard when it comes to men, not just in big rim racing, but also in the car culture to be congratulatory?
I don't know. We're a species. Hey, it's a lot take place, man. Egos. Don't nobody want to be little boy. It's just, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. But hey, on a real note though, y'all women, y'all kind of bring us together. Y'all kind of, keep us. We'll be a lot more out of control if it wasn't for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all bring us together for real.
Don't think we don't be wanting to grab y'all and shake the out of y'all.
Some of us need that though. Some of us need that. Yep, some of us need that.
It won't go the right way if we do that though, so I don't think we should do that.
It really, just because we grown, just because we grown don't mean that we can't be checked or chastised, and it's a way to do everything. You know what I'm saying? So KP, I'll take you for example. I never met you in person. I don't think, have I? But I have major respect for you because of how you carry yourself as a lady, right?
Thank you.
If you come to me, if I have a problem with somebody, you come to me, you say, "Hey, Starr Macc, that wasn't right. You shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have said that. We got to do better than that. You know what I'm saying? You should apologize." I would take that into consideration.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But you probably wouldn't apologize, but you would take it in consideration.
No, I'm not saying that I wouldn't. I'm just saying that, you coming to me saying that would kind of like change my perspective, and, maybe I would apologize and, for whatever took place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, I'm sure a lot of more guys respect you the same way that, they'll be willing to do the same thing if you came to them and grabbed the shirt tail.
Well, my grabbing the shirt tail is more in the background. Like, I'm not one of the ones. I don't like to put, say for instance, if that happened, I don't like to put our conversation on social media. Like, half of the guys that I talk to and can call on the phone, nobody ever knows that I have their phone number and I talk to them. But I do get on the phone and be like, "Hey, we can't do that."
Hey, a lot of situations that is active or that occurred, if they had been handled on the back line, it probably wouldn't even be a negative situation. You know what I'm saying? When, me and you could be having a conversation and we could, not be seeing things eye to eye. Well, if me and you having that conversation, I can take constructive criticism and you can take mine, and we can kind of agree, or we can agree to disagree. Or maybe we can see a different point of view from, what you're saying versus what I'm saying. But when you on live and you got 600
comments,
200 people, it kind of like add fuel to the fire in a lot of situations.
Right.
So
it's a lot of times the comments. I tell guys all the time, say for instance, me and you was having a beef, right? And you wasn't even on here, but I was on live, and somebody said, "Starr Macc such and such" in the comments. I read the comment.
Yeah. Now
somebody done screen recorded them 2 seconds of me reading that comment and took it back to you and said, "KP said so and so."
Yeah.
And people gotta learn how to be smarter. Go ahead. People gotta learn how to be smarter when it comes to, like, I know none of you guys signed up for this. You know what I'm saying? I know when you just built your car, you didn't know it was going to propel you in the public spotlight like it has.
Right.
You guys didn't know, even myself, for example, I just want to talk to all the people in the car culture. I didn't know my brand was going to become what it is. But I think a lot of times I use my head, or I know that it's consequences and repercussions in life.
Right.
So instead of me concerning myself with some things that ain't even my circus or my monkeys, I just tend to shy away from that. And I think if more of us did that, and especially people want to see us at odds anyway.
Right.
As y'all as men of color, people want to see y'all at odds.
Yeah.
So when y'all aren't at odds, it gives them exactly what they want.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right. You're right. You're 100% right on that. You're 100% right.
So I heard, on a lighter note, I heard that you are pretty funny. People was like, "He is hilarious." They say you are hilarious. They say you're always laughing and joking and smiling. So I'm going to give you a minute. This is going to be like, I have no more questions. I have nothing else to say. So I started a segment at the end of the show called Talk Your Shit. So I'm going to give you time. To say what you got to say. If it's somebody you want to draw, whatever you want to say, I'm going to give you time.
It ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, KP, I'm just going to be honest. Life good. You know what I'm saying? We just went through a hell of a pandemic with the virus. You know, we lost a lot of good people. You know, a lot of people lost their jobs. Hey, man, that shit out of our control.
Right.
So we strong. We strong. We the strongest people on earth. The black folks, we the strongest people on earth. So you just got to make the best out of it. Even when shit bad, you just don't worry about how bad it is. Just figure out what you got to do to fix it. What can you do to make it better and keep on pushing? So, you know, like I said, I'm positive energy. And, you know, that's what I bring, you know. I ain't on no bullshit today with you. I'm in my grown man shit with you today, so.
Well, you know, people was hitting me up, talk about.
You had to catch me over at the circus. You know what I'm saying? You got to catch me over there with the circus. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing that today. I ain't got it in me.
You can't be mad at a clown for being a clown. You got to be mad at yourself for going to the circus, huh?
That's right. So you got to catch me at the circus.
Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you, chopping it up with you. Is there anything else you want for us to know before we go?
No, I think we covered everything.
You don't want to tell us what's under the hood?
It's LS. It's
what type of LS, sir?
Nitrous. It's the nitrous LS. Yeah.
I tried. So can't nobody but me see under your hood.
Yep, you can see under there. I'll show it to you.
How you know I'm not the ops? How you know I'm not going to share somebody?
I'm just gonna take you for granted. I'm just gonna have to find out on the back end.
That's just because I'm a girl, I know.
No, not really. Not really.
Because you don't think I know what I'm looking at?
Partially.
Listen, we're gonna agree. Like you said, we can agree to disagree. We're gonna leave that where it's at. So, what I wanted to tell you, thank you so much for sitting down, taking the time. I know you had to pull over. You had to. It was a whole big ordeal getting you here today.
Yeah, it's all good. But
I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Come in and you know enjoy the show with you today.
Well, hopefully we can see you in a city near us sometime soon. And I can't wait to see that pretty thing in person and look at it and, you know, just sit in it or whatever you want. Can I borrow it?
You can sit in it. You can do whatever you want to do, how you want to do it.
I can't borrow it because I might not bring it back if I borrow it.
See, that's when I'm just going to let you sit in it. You know, we're going to get some pictures of you in it. You know, we're going to crank it up and let you snout the gas a couple times, you know.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate you.
All right. Likewise.
All right. Have a good day.
Same to you. Thank you.
All right, guys. So that was Starr Macc. If you missed any of today's episodes of Rydes and Vybes, I should have it uploaded on YouTube in probably about the next 30, 45 minutes. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you click the link in my bio and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank y'all for continuing to rock with Rydes and Vybes, the show, the brand, the movement, and thank y'all most of all for continuing to rock with me. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Yeah. And I'm going to save the live if anybody come in to that, like, missed the beginning of the story. So the lady was walking in the restaurant at the same time that I was walking in the restaurant. And now, mind you, I don't know this lady from a can of paint. Like, we don't know each other, period, nothing, right? So I am walking in the restaurant, and she walking in the restaurant. So the lady said, how many you got? She said one, and I said one. And so I told her, I said, well, shoot, we might as well should have just sat together. This is what I tell the lady. Now, mind you, the lady don't know me. I don't know her. I tell her, I said, we should have just sat together.